Interesting that God waits for us to make a decision, even as much as it's our life. We know that God is in control, He's the Alpha and the Omega. When Jesus came into the world, He came to set the captives free. He had a mission, and the mission He has well explained in Luke chapter 4, verses 18 to 19, that He came to set the captives free. He came to preach the good news to the poor. And this was the mission of Jesus Christ here on earth. That is why whenever He saw a sick person, He was ready to heal that person. Even those ones who were brought to Him, none of them went back without healing. It did not matter the day. It did not matter whether it was Sabbath. Remember, we are the ones who observe those days. God can work with whichever day because the days are His. But we have been given the days to observe for a specific reason, to honor and obey God. But God does not have to obey the rules that we obey because He has set the rules Himself. And He doesn't need to follow those rules. God can work on any day, although He rested on the seventh day. But if He decides to work on that day, we cannot question Him, because in His wisdom, if He sees a need that needs to be addressed, it will not matter the day or the time. So we are seeing Jesus coming into contact with a situation where somebody desperately needs healing. This man has been at this place for many years, and nobody cared about him. It's only Jesus who has come to address his problem. And when He comes to address his problem, we are seeing resistance from the Jews. Let us look at, because the Jews believed in laws, following laws. The laws that they were following, they believed every person should follow the laws. But they have little understanding that the man they are dealing with is God in the form of man. And He has come to redeem us from our situations, our desperate situations. This is to say that whatever desperate situation you are in, just take it to God and He will address it in His time and in His way. So here we see a sign of healing on Sabbath day. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem at the sheep gate a pool called in Hebrew Bethesda, with 5 porticos. In this lay a large number of ill, blind, lame, and crippled. One man was there who had been ill for 38 years. This man had been ill for 38 good years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been ill for a long time, He said to him, "Do you want to be well?" You know, Jesus was asking him that question. He knew the man has been unwell for 38 years. And he knew he has been coming to this pool to try and get an opportunity to heal, because the pool was a healing pool. The angel of the Lord used to come and stir the water. But hear what the man says to Jesus. The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. While I'm on my way, someone else gets down there before me." Imagine, he should just have told Jesus, "Yes, I want to get healed." But now he's giving stories, explaining. Let us hear what Jesus says. Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your mat and walk. This is the power of God. Rise, take up your mat and walk. Immediately, the man became well, took up his mat and walked. Jesus did not need to put him into the pool. Jesus only needed to say a word. Take up your mat and walk. And this is exactly what happened. The man immediately, we are told, became well. Which situation are you in right now? It doesn't matter the years that you have been in this situation. This man, we are told, was unwell for 38 years. He has gone to Jesus. Jesus has come and asked him, found him near the pool. He asked him, do you want to get well? Of course, Jesus knew he wanted to get well, but he needed it to come from his mouth. Yeah, he wanted the desire of his heart to come out clearly, that this is what I want. This is what I desire. That is why we are told to ask and we shall receive, to seek and we shall find. This man was seated there helpless. No one ever asked him that question, whether he wanted to get well. Because imagine there are so many people there, the crippled, the blind, and they are all waiting, and only one person can go into that water at a time. So how many years will it take to heal all these people? If it is only one person going there per day into the water, the one who comes first. So it means in a year, 365 will be healed. And if you are not able to get in there, you wait, because there are so many people waiting to get healed. But in an instant like this, Jesus comes and said, rise, take up your mat and walk. This is what he's telling me and you today. What do you have that you want to give to Jesus so that he can take it up and heal you? Because he wants to heal you, but are you ready to get healed? This is a question he was asked. Do you want to get out of that situation? Do you want to get out of that addiction? Do you want to get out of that situation that you are in right now? Rise, take up your mat and walk. This is what Jesus told this man. And we can see that day was a Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who was cured, it is a Sabbath and it is not lawful for you to carry your mat. Imagine, the man has been unwell for 38 years, but when he gets healed and now he's carrying his mat, the laws apply. The Jews now want to apply their law that on Sabbath you are not supposed to carry your mat. He answered them, the man who made me well told me, take up your mat and walk. Yeah, which is true. That's what he was told. They asked him, who is the man who told you to take it up and walk? The man who was healed did not know who it was, for Jesus had slipped away, since there was a crowd there. After this, Jesus found him in the temple area and said to him, look, you are well. Do not sin anymore, so that nothing worse may happen to you. The man has been healed. He has gone to the temple. Jesus has found him there. And he's telling them, be very careful, because you have been divinely healed. Take care of your soul so that you do not encounter a worse situation than you are in, the one you are in. For 38 years, the man was helpless. But now, the man went and told Jews that Jesus was the one who had made him well. Therefore, the Jews began to persecute Jesus because he did this on a Sabbath. But Jesus answered them, my Father is at work until now, so I am at work. For this reason, the Jews tried all the more to kill him, because he not only broke the Sabbath, but he also called God his own father, making himself equal to God. But is that true? When I say I'm a child of my father, am I making myself equal to my father? You can see the thinking of these people. A child is not equal to the father. Now they are saying that he's making himself equal, but he's just saying he's at work because the father has sent him to work. And it doesn't matter whether it is Sabbath or whatever day, God does not have days of working. He does not have off days. He does not go on leave. He does not sleep. He works day and night. He takes care of us day and night. So it doesn't matter what time you are calling him. It doesn't matter what day you are calling him. You will not call his phone and then you are told that the mobile subscriber is not available. No, his phone is always on. You can call him anytime. So God does not work according to our timings. That is why even when he decides to call you home, he will call you at any time. He can come at night. He can come during the day. He can come whatever time, early in the morning, because he's not limited by time. He's not also limited by days, because he's God and he's the Almighty. Does it mean if we go to church on a Sunday because it is Sabbath, we cannot get healed? We all go to get healed. Our souls get healed. It doesn't matter the day. Just you only need to go before him and he will address your situation. He will address your issue. He will address your matter. So this man for 38 years had suffered. But instead of these people looking at the great thing that has happened to this man who is now well, they are looking at a trivial matter of a day, a Sabbath, a trivial matter. Instead of being happy and rejoicing that this man was sick for 38 years, he was not even able to work for himself. He was not able to feed himself. Now he'll be able to feed himself. He'll be able to do things for himself. Instead of rejoicing, we start castigating. That is our human nature. When we see people doing well, people getting out of desperate situations, we start castigating them. This person could have become a devil worshipper. This person could have done this and this and that. We don't see God's ways. We see the worldly ways. We think worldly. Instead of seeing that God is able, God can come in an instant and change a situation. The way he changed this situation for this man for 38 years. He can come and change your situation instantly. But that's not what people look at. People will look at what happened here. Where did he go? He must have gone to visit some funny places to get money. He must have gone to Illuminati. He must have done this. No, God is capable. God is able. Don't be afraid to go to God, to seek him for help, to seek him for assistance, because God will come through even closed doors to help you. Whether the doors are closed or not, he will come through them to help you. I remember one time I had no job and I had applied for jobs and I forgot about it because no one was replying to my applications. And it so happened that my phone had gotten stolen. And imagine when your phone is stolen and you have no job. But this is what I'm saying, that God can come through closed doors. That particular time when I had no phone, a certain company where I had applied for work were looking for me, but my phone was not going through. Fortunately, they reached one of my referees. You see how God works? The referee was able to get through to me by sending someone to where I stayed. And this is how God works. So it doesn't matter whether your phone has crashed, God will find you. He knows how to find you. He will not ask for your address, He knows your address. And when He wants to come and bless you, He'll not ask anybody for the way. He knows where you are, He knows how to get you. So let us continue trusting in the faithfulness of God, in the love and care of God. Let us continue trusting that our God is able, He's all powerful, He's all loving, and He's all faithful. He picked on this specific man who had suffered for that 8 years. That shows how much God cares about our suffering. He will not abandon His people. He will take care of me, He will take care of you. He will even take care of your children. Remember to always commit your children into His hands. Maybe these children don't know how to pray for themselves. You, as the parent, pray for them. Cover them with the precious blood of Jesus. Pray for their situations. Pray for them as they go and as they come, that God may protect them, that God may meet them at their point of need, and He can fulfill the desire of their hearts. The way He fulfilled the desire of this man's desire. He desired to get healed. And Jesus asked him, do you want to be well? That is the same question He's asking me and you. Do you want to get out of that situation that you are in? Tell Jesus, I want to get out of this situation. Talk to Him. Call on Him. Because He hears the cry of His children. He hears the cry of our hearts. And He will come through for you. But we are told to pray, wait in faith that God is actually coming. Surrender all your cares to Him, because He will come and save you from that situation. If He saved this man who had been suffering for that 8 years, He will also save you from your present situation. So don't be afraid to go to Jesus. He has said, if you remain in my word, you will truly become my disciples. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So this is the truth that will set us free. The truth that the fact that we know the Son of God, who is Jesus Christ, our Redeemer, our Savior, and He's ready. If He died on the cross and shed so much blood for my sake, for your sake, what else can He do for you? It's only that we do not go to Him and we do not trust. But when we trust and go to Him, He comes through for us. So today, believe and tell Him you want to get healed. Don't go with so many stories. Just be specific. Tell God what you want. Tell Him, because He knows, but tell Him what you want. And He will definitely listen to you, and He will guide you accordingly. He might give something different from what you are asking for, because He's all knowing, all loving, and all faithful. Yeah. Because He's the one who knows what we need. He sees all our situations, and He has seen them from A to Z, from the beginning to the end. He has seen them, and He will address each and every issue. He has told us He will provide for all our needs from His bounty of glory. So God is not mean. We are the ones who are mean with God. We become mean. We do not want to listen to Him. We do not want to follow His commandments. we live in disobedience. And when we are disobedient, then God steps aside and waits until the time you will be ready to open the door of your heart. Because He says, I'm standing at the door knocking. Imagine the creator of the universe. He created you. He created your heart. He created everything. But He cannot force Himself into your heart. He's waiting that you can love Him willingly. You can willingly go to Him. Imagine if someone is forcing himself to you. Somebody is trying to say, I love you, but you're not loving back. It can be very disheartening. This is what God tells us. I love you as my children. I love you, my child. Come to me. Trust me. Believe in me. But what do? We go far and far away from God instead of moving closer and closer to God. So if this message has really helped you, share it with your friends, leave a comment, and please subscribe to this channel so that we can walk this journey of faith together. I also get new revelations every day as I continue talking to you here on this YouTube channel. Thank you, and may God bless you mightily.